All right, today we're going to work on a problem with elapsed time where our start time is unknown. Okay, so it says Alicia and Austin played outside until 6:20. They had been playing for 2 hours and 35 minutes. What time did they start playing? Okay, so first of all, we're going to underline our question. Okay, now I had already mentioned that this was a problem where our start time was unknown, but you have to be able to really look at your answer sentence or your question, and by writing your answer sentence, you're going to be able to kind of focus on what you're solving for. Okay, so you have to be able to really read the problem and be able to figure that out. So if it says what time did they start playing, our answer sentence, they started playing at, and it did say time here, so I know that my answer is going to be in a time. And this is why writing the answer sentence is so important. When we tell you guys to write an answer sentence, it really gets your brain thinking about, what the focus is for what you're trying to solve in the word problem. That's why it's so important. Okay, so I'm going to draw my number line, and then I'll go back and see what information we have. Okay, so it tells us that Alicia and Austin played outside until 6:20. So they've been playing until 6:20. So 6:20 is my ending time. They had been playing for 2 hours and 35 minutes. So we know that we're looking for what time they started playing. So that is actually going to be where my question mark goes, is at our start, because in this question, our start is unknown. So this is going to be a little different because we're actually going to be working our way backwards in time. Okay, so looking back at the problem, it tells us that they had been playing for 2 hours and 35 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just like if we were jumping forward on the number line, I'm going to jump backward the same way, where we jump our hours first. So first I'm going to jump backward 2 hours, okay? So I'm going to make that jump backwards, and I'm going to label it 2 hours. So if it was 6:20, counting 2 hours back, I have to subtract that. I'm now at 4:20. So sometimes kids will accidentally add the time because they're used to the adding up strategy. So you have to be really careful and make sure you're paying attention to if we're working forward in time or backward in time, okay? So, all right, so we've jumped the 2 hours backwards, okay? And then also it said they'd been playing 35 minutes. Well, just like in our problem earlier, where we had to split up the 35, we're probably going to need to do that again here too, because we're at 4:20, and if I'm at 20 and I'm taking away those 35 minutes, it's going to get a little bit tricky. So one way to do that is to split up the 35. So I'm going to write the 35 like we did with the other problem. And I know that I'm at 4:20. If I want to jump back to my friendly number that came before that, my hour, I would have to take away 20 minutes, right? And that would put us at 4 o'clock. Now, of that 35 minutes, I've used 20 of that. So that leaves 15 minutes left that I can jump backwards, okay? So I'm going to cross off the 20 because I've already used it. So if I'm at 4 o'clock and I'm jumping back 15 minutes, okay, remember that every hour is equal to 60 minutes. So if I'm jumping back 15 minutes, 60 minus 15, that puts me at 45. So I'm at 3. Excuse me, I'm going to write the 15 here. We've jumped back 15 minutes, so now I'm at 3:45. And again, you don't have to jump 15 all at once. You could have jumped back 10 minutes and then 5 minutes. You could even jump back one at a time if that's what you feel comfortable with. But after we jump our 15 minutes backwards, we are at 3:45. So we know that they started playing at 3:45. And that is how you solve a time word problem where your start time is unknown.